Hey everybody, I just wanted to record a quick update here on the status of the flippening. So since my last video where I said the flippening is here, Splinterlands has sold 40,000 packs, and we're down to 230, I think is what Agro said this evening. And so yeah, I just want to take a look at how the market was doing and to see what the current numbers were reflecting. And that's what we have on the screen here. So same calculations as before. This is 575 packs, which costs $1,000 as that's the Maverick promo 75 free deal that anybody can get on the website. It creates 2,875 cards, and we have the base probabilities where 0.8% are legendaries, 4% are epics, 20% are rares, and then 75.2% are commons, and then you have to adjust that for how many of those are gold, because 1 in 50 cards are gold, and so that's these down here, which subtracts from these. And if we have potions on, that adjusts the probabilities a bit further. Legendaries get doubled with a legendary potion, which takes away from the others. And then gold potions, increase probability of gold, so double from there. And then, yeah, that gives us our probabilities. Deck value per card is there. Now average value, so here I did something a little bit different. I went through and I tallied the asking prices of every card type in the beta decks, and with one exception. So what I did on the gold legendaries. So gold legendaries is a tough thing because there's so much value tied up in there, but there's so little transaction volume that it's hard to make a good estimate of what the actual price is or what the actual cards are worth. So what I did was I went with the most conservative way I could calculate it, and this legendary value is based on the bid prices on the Peak Monsters market. So that means, like, if you pulled one of these, you could sell it for this, immediately, because there's already a bid waiting there. And you can see, it's at $88. A gold foil legendary is 75,000 in dark energy crystals all by itself. So that is just a little bit over the dark energy crystal value. So that is a solid floor for the gold foil legendaries. And even with that conservatism built in, and the spreads on the other cards are not that great, so it's not as big of an issue. Even with that, we have the expected value in dark energy crystals is just under 500,000, and at today's dark energy crystals prices, that comes out to $500 or so. And market value, we have a $1,486. Now, obviously, there is some variation in there depending on exactly which cards you get, because some are worth more, some are worth less, and the distribution of actual cards you get is not going to be a perfect match for the expected probabilities, because, well, random numbers are random. So, but at these numbers, this being the average case with the conservative gold foil legendary, card cost is $1,000. You're gonna spend another 270, and that's based on today's dark energy crystal price in potions, and expected profit is $214. So as a yield, if we calculate that divided by the sum of those guys, I guess I didn't need that parentheses there, 16%. That's not bad. The fact that it's positive at all is amazing. And I didn't track that yield from last week, so I don't know exactly how that compares, but you can go back and calculate it if you want. Bottom line is that, yeah, it's the flippening is still ongoing. It seems to be accelerating. So when I was updating all the values, pretty much everything was higher. If you look back on the old or last week's video, average value here was 9 cents instead of 10 cents. And most of the cards have ticked up. A couple ticked down, but by the majority are now higher than they were, a week ago, 10 days ago, whenever it was I made the last video. So check the math yourself. Go over to Peak Monsters and take a look there, and you'll see, I believe you'll see the same thing that I see. So, at that point, the question is, how much do you want to stack? And, is the legendaries worth it? And in fact, actually, I wanted to do that live here to see what we got. So right now, that's deck value. So value is okay. So what I did to calculate the cards here is I took the total cards multiplied by this final probability after the different adjustments. So what happens to this value if we take out the potions? Okay, because yeah, we're going to lose those bonuses, but we're also going to lose this cost. So it could be that the yield changes. It could be the yield goes up, or goes down. So let's take a look to see what we have here. So instead of S18, I want Q18, which is just the normal adjustments based on the having gold cards. So we copy that down, and now our deck value went way down. Went from 500,000 to 270,000, but we didn't have to spend 270,000. So that's actually a wash. That's interesting, because the double potions is 270,000. Values is now at 1,000, and obviously we won't have this. These will be gone. So 0, 0. So that pretty much eliminates the yield. So what we're seeing here, that's very interesting. What we're seeing is that the potions are critical right now. So let's change this back. Oops. Okay, so now we're back to S. Okay. So yeah, don't do this without the potions. And the net result of that is, when you buy a potion, that dark energy crystal is burned. It is no longer available for purchase or sale or rewards or anything. And last time I looked, the Steam Monsters account, or sorry, the Null account, where the burned dark energy crystals go, is up to like 143 or 145 million dark energy crystals that have already been taken out. So, so yeah, that's the more that are burned, the less are available. That's an upward pressure on the market price. So that is super interesting to see. That it's not worth doing unless unless you get all the potions. So I know what I'll be doing. As much as I'm able. Just, don't tell the wife. How much you're spending on Splinterlands cards. But yeah, I mean, the math is what it is. And for me, I've been setting up the Herons Unlimited accounts for new players to come in and play. It's because, like I've been saying for months now, the more people we get involved in Splinterlands, the healthier the ecosystem is, and the more activity, and the more prices will rise, which is great for everybody involved. And a lot of people have been, I don't know about complaining, but have been saying things like, well, this is a whales game. It's like, well, kind of. These things do cost money, and but the great thing about having the rental cards and having the delegated accounts and all that kind of stuff now is that you can be, have a whale deck without having to have any investment by sharing in the revenue or paying a daily rental fee. And we've seen, plenty of players compete at the top levels to do that. So, it's a virtuous cycle for everybody.